Hello everybody, I am the Linkzilla, and welcome back to Jurassic Park,
wow,
the
they've really
game.
made a lot of progress in construction here.
By Telltale.
Paleozoic, huh? Well, most of the specimens here aren't really from the Jurassic period anyway.
When we last left off, we just learned from Billy that the island and the Jurassic Park facilities here are going to be destroyed. So, now we definitely have to get out of here before it's too late, but Dr. Sorkin has taken it upon herself to abandon us and is now basically going to the phones without us. I wonder what she could be up to.
How you holding up, Jess?
I can't stop shaking. I'd literally rather be back in jail for shoplifting. I'm just so tired of running, Dad.
I know, me too. But we're safe for now.
I really like this
Interesting
portion
concept.
of the game, though.
Living fossils. I guess you can't expect a mosquito to feed on fish swimming hundreds of meters under the sea.
This little pool's cool. Were these creatures all cloned like the dinosaurs?
No, these aren't actually extinct animals, Jess. They live in the oceans today. They're called living fossils because they haven't evolved much from the ancient fossil forms discovered by paleontologists.
Oh, is that a horseshoe crab?
Could be. To be honest, I don't really know all that much about sea fauna.
Fauna.
Is that funny? Are you high, Jess? Anyways, this was ultimately one of the things that I was most excited about for this game, because somehow I knew they'd have to have something like this. This was like the first piece of Jurassic Park media to be released in like a long time, although technically there was that comic book that was out like in 2010, but you know, I don't really follow comics, and that comic, well, wasn't all that good anyway.
What is that supposed to be?
I don't know. Looks like a mosasaur.
Mosa what? It looks kind of scary.
Oh,
It's
it
sort of
is.
a sea lizard of sorts. You think of a big moray eel with a crocodile head.
Croco eel? Great. Sounds charming.
Don't worry, there are no sea creatures on my list of park animals.
Then what are all the feeder fish for?
Feeder fish?
Yeah, we came through a big room filled with tanks of fish. Laura said they were for feeding other animals, like whales.
Well, let's not jump to any conclusions.
I actually like this puzzle. It can take a long time to figure out, but I have a pretty good memory, so let's just get to it.
Ah, Paleozoic. From oldest to newest. Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous, Permian.
Alrighty.
How did you two get here so fast?
A tour vehicle picked us up.
Great. Here I was running for my life in those tunnels, and you two are on a date.
A
See?
date? Give me a break.
Why do you have an aquarium here? Can you even clone an ancient fish?
Not as far as I know. I don't know of any amphibious mosquitoes.
Huh?
Well, you remember how the tour explained that we get our dino DNA from fossilized mosquitoes, right? Mosquitoes can't exactly bite an animal that spends its life underwater.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Unless that animal happens to frequent the surface just enough to prey, I mean, it would have to be very, very quick, so
Dad, I'm so sorry I caused all this trouble.
you didn't necessarily
Hey,
cause it.
This
but
isn't your fault.
It is! With the smoking, the dinosaurs, the stealing, my grades. I don't mean to be such a screw-up all the time.
First we've heard about the grades.
Jess, I know I can come down on you hard sometimes. I feel like I have to cram months of being a dad into the few short days I get with you. But you're an amazing young woman. I'm proud of you, and I don't want you to have to make the same mistakes I've made.
At least you've got a career, Jerry.
I don't want to do this anymore, Dad. Can't we just wait here for another rescue?
That's what we're gonna do. But first we have to call for that other rescue.
What if it goes just as bad as the first one?
Hey, look at me. We'll get through this. What do I always say about the glass of water being half full or half empty, huh? Hey, I ordered a beer. That's my girl.
I like that. I ordered a beer. That's actually the first time I've actually heard that.
I'll
Alright.
be over by the info desk, okay?
Yeah, Dad.
I ordered a beer. I'm gonna be laughing at that all day.
Information. Sure could use some now.
Alrighty. Ichthyosaurs.
Huh. Very clever. Looks like they're using numbers from the dates of the Paleozoic era as daily key codes. Okay.
Okay,
So the clock for the Paleozoic era preceded the oldest period at the
Paleozoic
display.
era,
Maybe the sequence doesn't start at the beginning of the week.
Ordovician.
Today is Saturday. I need Friday's code.
And let me just take one last look. I think the one before it is Carbo, so the sequence starts off, so I need the final one. Let's check these instructions first.
Insert operator's key into key slot. Okay, etc., etc. Code expires in 24 hours. Morning operations reset procedure. Turn key counterclockwise to input notch and hold for 3 seconds. Keypad will reset and beep 3 times. Turn key clockwise to reset. Enter previous code, then new code. Huh, that's easy enough.
For someone who doesn't get that bit of information, they could be stuck here forever. Alright, so I'm pretty sure torn between these two right here. I'm gonna try Permian. Come on, best guess, best guess.
Permian. Sounds right.
Alright.
Okay, best guess.
I really think that that's it. So, let's go to the elevator. Did we say anything to Nima?
Is everything all right between you two?
Mind your own business and get the elevator running.
I wasn't talking to you.
No more fighting. Things are bad enough as they are.
Dang it, Billy. Alright, we gotta go to input, so... Oh, dang it! Didn't do it fast enough. Okay, so... No. Okay, maybe I'm hitting the wrong thing. Wait, no. Have to go back to reset. Hold. There we go.
9251. All right.
Yes.
New code. Let's keep it simple.
5555. Elevator's going. It's time for us to see what we can see.
Hey, don't open that. Are you crazy? Someone will see.
Relax.
See what?
The whole climax couldn't happen without
Damn
this
it, you
scene.
careless idiot.
What was that thing? Some kind of spy gear?
Yeah, that's right. Top secret. In fact, if you tell anyone about it, I'll have to kill you.
Dang it.
Don't lay a finger on her.
I was just kidding around.
Yeah, I
Everyone,
know that
I got
he's
the
kidding
elevator
around
working.
in that.
About time.
What's going on here?
Nothing. We're all cool.
Damn it, Billy.
Jeez, get over it. Let's go. We don't got all day.
The pressure.
Dad, my ears.
Attention,
What's
yes.
going on?
The Lagoon Rotunda and Spectacular is housed in a pressurized underwater environment. We suggest you pinch your nose and push your breath to equalize your ears while we descend. If you experience any lasting discomfort or feel unusually giddy, let your attendant know immediately.
Giddy.
They're talking about nitrogen narcosis. It's a risk of breathing pressurized air.
How do you know?
What makes you the expert?
I, saw it in a movie. Whoa! Is that where we're going?
What scares
I
me
think so.
here is that this wasn't on the plans. Wow. How did they have all this built? Right now, I'm just wondering how I'm going to build all that
God.
in
I
Minecraft.
wasn't expecting any of this.
This is so cool.
It's going to get cooler.
Careful. I'll lead.
That's probably for the best. What would they have down here?
Cool. Look at that.
What's up there?
I want to speak with Hammond.
Foreshadowing.
No, this can't wait. Can you connect me to Mr. McGuire? Or no, Peter Ludlow.
Peter Ludlow.
Please hurry.
Another reference to The Lost World.
No, look. This is Dr. Laura Sorkin.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Park. I am still on the premises. Get me somebody. Mr. Parker, I do not need rescuing. I do not want the bombing waylaid. I want it stopped. What? It's not contaminated.
It's locked from the inside.
It's a wildlife preserve. These animals are not diseased. They are extremely endangered. You're not listening to me!
Hey, Dad. This looks like an intercom up here.
What? Where? Good find, honey. Laura, it's me, Jerry. Laura?
Jerry, I hear you, and I'm glad you're here. This is gonna be a lot easier now.
Pay attention,
What have you
everybody.
been doing?
We're gonna stop the bombing, Jerry. This island must be preserved. I have taken the remaining survivors hostage. There are 4 others, 3 Americans and 1 Costa Rican. I won't let them go unless the plans to bomb the island are completely rescinded.
You have no right to hold us like this!
Rights are just an ideological construct.
Turn this into a philosophy debate.
What rights do the dinosaurs have? Don't they have the right to survive?
What happened to
Do
them
their
being an
rights outweigh
ideological
any of ours?
construct?
It is not our rights versus theirs. Our dinosaurs are phantoms. Majestic as they may be, alive as they may be. We brought them into a world that is no longer prepared for them. We have a responsibility to keep them isolated and under rein for the safety of our ecosystem. It's not rights, it's responsibility.
And we have a responsibility to preserve our creations and allow them a chance to survive on their own terms.
All right.
Billy, will InGen stop the bombing?
Doubt it. InGen is not the one dropping bombs, it's the US military. And the contingency is based around a biohazard cover story. She may just be delaying the inevitable.
The U.S.
If you don't offer me
military.
some sort of guarantee that the island will be preserved, I will have to escalate matters.
What could she possibly do now?
This is lunacy! Fine, put the military on the phone. Hello? Hello? You want to see contamination of the global ecosystem?
What are they saying? Are they going to stop the bombs? Laura, there are other options here. Holding us against our will to save the dinosaurs is only one poorly thought out solution. You're smarter than that, Laura.
I know, Jerry. I know what I'm doing. I clearly expressed the consequences of threatening this island. I scored a line in the sand that has been ignored and trampled over by InGen, by the government, and now I exercise my resolve.
Laura?
I'm going to free the mosasaur.
The what?
Are you mad? A land dinosaur paddling to the mainland is one thing, but you're talking about releasing an apex predator into over 70% of the global ecosystem.
It's only one. It can be recaptured.
Before it eats the last of the humpbacks?
Oh, don't be dramatic.
Laura, don't.
Truth be told, this whole thing scares the crap out of me. Anyone who watches my Minecraft videos knows that I'm
Plan B.
dead terrified of mosasaurs. And what Laura is planning to do is effectively what's going to happen in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Time to go all Jack Nicholson here. Come on.
Stand back!
probably just destabilize the wet pool.
I'm sorry, Jerry. For the sake of this island and the sake of the treasure it holds, I have been forced to take an action.
It's not too late. We can reverse this.
No. I locked the system down. There's nothing you can do. I've opened the gates and the mosasaur is free to leave.
Laura, you have to...
No, Jerry, this isn't up for debate.
Here it comes.
We have to show InGen.
Look out!
I'm kind of disappointed that there's no official reveal of this creature. It just kind of shows, like, how rushed this game is. I hope that hurt. Finally got hers.
Damn it! What were you thinking?
All right, everybody, be cool. And stay away from the window.
Be cool?
That's right. What, you want an I told you so? I don't know about you, but I came here to make a phone call.
You see, this is ultimately why I like Billy, because he was right about Sorkin from the beginning. But I'm still so pissed off at what this
Hello,
episode is
this is
doing.
William Yoder, ID 4122. Put me through to Haskell.
It'd be cool if the name he
Yes,
asked
sir.
for was Hoskins.
Yes, sir. The U.S. Embassy.
Put me through to Hoskins.
Report as follows. The island is completely overrun. Alpha team killed in action, save one, myself. Bravo team killed in action. 2 helicopters disabled. 2 civilian casualties. I have access to a seaworthy boat and I
This
will
is a
evacuate the
very
remaining
big
survivors.
body count.
Yes, sir. The military may proceed. 90 minutes. Understood, sir.
And Billy's not calling for a helicopter. He's going to take the boat that's waiting for them at the north dock. Smart, I suppose. He's got the elevator open. Just calm down, Billy.
What's happening? Who did you call?
Let's get ready for
That's
bullshit.
far enough.
What?
You're not coming with me. There's going to be a tragic accident, Jerry. Nima, we have everything we need. We're finishing this without them.
What?
No.
What do you mean, no? We've got an agreement, remember?
Agreement doesn't involve killing Jerry and Jess.
What's going on?
I'm sorry, Jerry. I was sent here to retrieve dinosaur embryos from InGen.
I don't understand. You're a corporate spy?
Yes.
Damn it, Nima. I trusted you.
It's not like that. Yoder took the can. He wants it for himself. I'm trying to help you and Jess.
What can?
A can of shaving cream. It has a compartment to smuggle the embryos off the island.
Damn it, Nima. You're blowing it.
No, you are.
Seriously,
Oscar put his
Billy.
faith in you. He may have been a devil, but he wore his sins on his arm for everyone to see. You are just a mask with nothing behind it.
No, you can't do this! Don't you care?
Plot point.
Don't you care about Oscar or Decap?
That's enough. Everyone stay back. I'm gonna give you a sporting chance here.
Billy has
Billy,
gone
when's the next
completely
go?
insane.
There ain't no coming back.
Don't do this!
Enough up!
Here we go.
Come on, get up!
Jerry! Run! Up and over. Time to close the door. Oh, this is terrifying. Well, what else can I say about that? For those of you who have been paying attention, I actually liked the character of Billy Yoder. I could sympathize with him. He was a funny character. I feel like he added a much-needed sense of both comedy relief and also a character dynamic with Oscar, with Nema, with the Hardings. I felt like his character was a bit refreshing. But here, it just shows how rushed this entire thing ended up becoming, because Billy going insane at the end literally makes no sense. Ultimately, you could somewhat understand that he was upset that Oscar and Decaf had died, but the idea that he's suddenly willing to resort to killing Jess and Jerry, that just didn't seem like it was in his character before now. Especially since the game somewhat presented him as more reasonable than Oscar. Oscar definitely, like, comes off as, like, someone who kills because it's part of the job. But they're literally trying to portray Billy as an opportunist who's just willing to sacrifice the people that he's been sent there to save, who are depending on him to get them to safety, just for almost no reason. Because seriously, think about it. He necessarily did not have to pretty much, like, try to kill Jess and Jerry. I feel like his plan, his thinking was that if he left them alive, they would, like, I don't know, they would basically, like, get wise to what he and Nema were doing, like, and ultimately maybe rat on them, but who's to say that they actually would? Who's to say that, like, they couldn't say that, like, we're gonna take this boat, we're gonna go back to the mainland, but as soon as we land on the mainland, we're gonna split up. Basically, you guys tell whoever comes to collect you that Nema and I didn't make it off the island. The fact that he has to resort to trying to kill them, it comes off way too forced, in my opinion. Like, they're trying to antagonize, to vilify him, trying to make him into an antagonist at the very last second, because they feel like the game needs a villain. Yeah, well, the game had a villain this entire time, and you guys just had her, like, killed off almost as quickly as she started doing villainous things. I feel like maybe they could have had it to where Sorkin survived and, like, maybe was the one who tried to trap them down there in order to basically keep them hostage and whatnot. Because because there is a way that they get out of there. Spoiler alert. So, ultimately speaking, I feel like Billy's character could have been handled a whole lot better. And what's even more irritating about it is that, you remember how Dr. Sorkin, like, opened up the system to let the mosasaur out so that it could escape the lagoon and get out into the open ocean? Yeah. That never gets addressed or resolved at all throughout the rest of this episode. So, as far as we know, the mosasaur is free to leave. And that is never, ever dealt with. So, Billy had a grenade. I felt like the original plan was that that there was going to be, like, some kind of operation that Billy and the others would try to use the grenade to kind of, like, break off the section of the wall of rock surrounding the exit of the lagoon to trap the mosasaur there permanently. But the explosion would have caused the rotunda to be damaged, and maybe Billy could have been hurt, and maybe Billy could have gotten killed, but that would have been so much better, because I liked Billy's character. I hate the fact that he becomes evil at the end, because it's like, this makes no fucking sense. Alright, let's read it. Let's see, yep. Mosasaur, Muse River Lizard. Well, technically it means Lizard of the Muse River, but finally found out what John has in store for the Marine exhibit, a Mosasaur. It's Phase B attraction, so it's not on the list. Apparently the first specimen is viable, and it's already outgrown the breeding tank. I'd be pissed off about being kept out of the loop, but I'm too excited to care. A mosasaur, the apex predator of the late Cretaceous seaways. With a double-hinged jaw to gulp down large prey upwards of 50 feet long, depending on genus, it's going to be magnificent. I just hope the facility is large enough to be a healthy habitat. That's also a thing, like, this is technically the first mosasaur to appear in the Jurassic Park franchise, and it eventually gets followed up on with having a mosasaur in Jurassic World, which is something that I've been hoping that they would do for a long time. However, this mosasaur is incredibly different from the one that we would get in Jurassic World, because it's actually a tylosaur. I am not quite sure of the distinctions between the two myself. I think that maybe tylosaur is a different genus of the mosasaur family, but I don't know. Anyways, this is effectively going to be one of the final challenges of the game, and it's one of my favorite levels. I love playing it, but let's finish out this journal entry before we end the episode. There's a storm coming. I could feel it. Like I could feel tornadoes coming when I was living back in Arkansas. Ray will probably call an evacuation. Not sure I'll go. We're secure here, and the parasaurs need tending. Most important, I'm nearly ready to reverse the Wu's cruel lysine contingency. Once that's done, everything is going to fall into place. John will see that he can't control these animals or me, and Isla Nublar will become a nature preserve, a proper habitat, a home. If there's any more reason to hate her, it's this. She was basically planning to do this for, like, even during the events of the movie. Instead of evacuating the island with everyone else, she assumed that she was safe up there, even though her actions directly caused the carnivores to be drawn right to her. And she was planning to reverse the lysine contingency. And all that bullshit about this being her life's work, God, I hate Sorkin, and I wish her death was more gruesome. I mean, I know I'm usually one that basically doesn't really care about, like, how evil someone is in the movie and, like, wants them to get a gruesome death, but I kind of felt like hers was too easy. Like, it was just a reference to Jaws, you know what I'm saying? And speaking of references to Jaws, let's get back to it, shall we? Look at that thing. This is, like, the only thing that I kind of don't like about this. The fact that the mosasaur is kind of spoiled for everybody. And the fact that there's no big dramatic reveal of what it looks like. Well, maybe that counts. What else can be said? The entire outdoor area is flooded.
Is anybody hurt? Is everyone alright?
You mean, besides being trapped in this bubble by that desgraciado, we're as good as dead?
Don't say that. Somebody might, somebody will come for us.
Oh, Jerry, Yoder left us here. He'll take the boat and not tell anyone about us.
Maybe he won't take the boat.
He has the canister. He knows where the boat is.
He, doesn't have the canister.
There's an ironic
I'm
thing
sorry.
about the
I
boat.
promise not to steal anymore.
Okay,
But
that one's a freebie.
There's no way she could have gotten that
Just
off of him.
Great.
why is it flooding?
Must be the damage to the door. We're losing air pressure.
Unless
This
she
place will flood
picked
right
his
up to the
pocket
highest hole in the
earlier.
room. Damn it! Even if we could open the door against the pressure, the whole rotunda is flooded. There's nowhere to go.
Wait a second. I remember. Maybe there still is a way out. If we swim.
Swim? We won't make it 20 feet with that mosasaur swimming around.
Maybe. Look at that pipeline. It leads out of this lagoon. There are caves at the far end. Those caves connect to others that lead back to the beaches. We use the pipeline as cover.
And you think we can hold our breath the whole way?
Dad, look! There's diving gear.
No. We don't know the first thing about scuba diving.
I do.
What?
We have to distract the mosasaur. Figure something out and meet us back down here.
Scuba diving?
How does Jess know?
Oh, come on. How could this be so complicated? I don't know thing one about diving.
Dad, don't mess with the mixture valve. They're all preset.
Since when do you know about diving?
Remember those lessons you wouldn't let me take?
Did your mother override my decision?
Actually, Steve bought me lessons. It was a secret.
Mom's boyfriend.
Yeah. If it's any constellation, I got grounded and Steve slept on the couch for a week.
Did she say constellation?
Wonder how long it'll take for this room to flood.
My
Let's not find out,
cursor is
Dad.
gone again.
I'll be right back. feeder program. Hatchery B, Pool 4. That looks like the one scheduled for today's feeding. That ought to keep it busy.
Nice wetsuits.
Okay, hon, what do we do?
Dad, I changed my mind. These are rebreathers and I've never actually used one. I'm not ready for this.
Hey, you can do
No!
this.
What if something goes wrong? I don't want to do this. I don't want anyone else to get hurt.
No, it's okay, hon. No teenager should ever have to go through something like this. But look how far we've come. You've been so incredibly brave. You can do this. I will be with you every step of the way.
I just don't want you to go away. I'm so tired of you always going away.
I know, honey, but I'm here right now, and I'm not gonna leave you alone. I'll be here with you all the way. Now, what's the diver signal for okay?
It's universal. Duh.
Right. Well, I promise to signal you whenever you check on me, okay?
I'm scared.
This is gonna be funny.
As scared as that time you accidentally walked into Uncle Wallace's room while he was washing his nose?
So gross. I didn't know it was like prosthetic.
A prosthetic
okay, Jess,
nose.
you ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
So, how do these things work?
Well, these are closed circuit rebreathers. They look custom designed.
Alrighty.
This is the regulator. It's built into the mask. It wants to help you breathe. Don't fight it. And don't hold your breath.
Okay, don't hold my breath.
The tank is small, maybe 15 minutes of air.
Is that enough?
But it recycles the air you exhale. It should work for about 45 minutes. Try not to freak out. You'll use air faster. You might even mess up the CO2 scrubbers.
That sounds bad.
CO2 poisoning is totally bad. That's it. The suit's mostly automated. It'll keep you, like, buoyant and manage your oxygen. Oh, and try to swim casual.
Swim casual?
Don't spaz out. It attracts sharks.
What about mosasaurs?
Probably them too. Turn around.
I think that line was intentionally cheesy. I think that he's playing up scared so that Jess can, like, be brave. You know what I'm saying? Ah, harpoon gun. Here we go. I love this level. Let's see. I love how quiet it is, especially during this scene. Oh, dang it! Come on, Jerry. You guys probably can't hear it, but the music is kind of reminding me of Jaws. I guess that's by design. This whole situation is meant to remind you of Jaws. Oh no. Nema's stuck. Nema, stop moving around. Got my cursor back. Gotta be grateful for that. Come on. Come on, Nema, get your fingers in there. Whoa! Not good. It's breaking the pipe. Swim, Nema. Anti-shark cage. That thing was too close. No way. It's coming back. It's gonna ram the cage. Hope that thing doesn't land with the bottom side down. She won't be able to get out. And that looks like it's stuck. Uh-oh. Swim, Jess. You guys ever seen the extended edition of King Kong? There's a piranha scene that looks a lot like this. I just basically realized the way that it was destroying the structures back there, this thing could basically, like, break everything. Ugh. This is kind of like the T-Rex from earlier. You gotta wait for the mosasaur to look away. Like right now, it's looking down. Nope. And I always think that the tail is going to hit them in this scene. Watch. Didn't anybody else get that feeling? Oh, big coral reef. Ugh! Swim! Swim away, swim away! They're headed towards the cage that the mosasaur was kept in. Alright. Smile, you son of a... Yeah, that's actually a beginner's trap. It makes you think that you're supposed to shoot it in the mouth, but... You think that a harpoon is going to stop this thing? One harpoon? Well, we did it. Kind of a short interaction, though. Would have preferred it if it, like, went on for a bit longer. And now we're coming into the final 2 chapters. We are almost there. And I have a feeling that I'm about to get my butt kicked, because these QuickTime events are literally murder. You remember how I told you in, like, a few episodes ago how this part of the game intentionally puts the button presses in, like, lens flares to be blindingly bright? We're gonna see an example of that in this portion.
Look, by the lighthouse.
Yes, that must be it.
Wait, I don't see anyone on it.
Maybe a dinosaur ate them.
Maybe Billy ate them.
Maybe Billy ate them. Ooh!
Well, well, well. Fortune smiles upon the brave.
Hey, Dad!
I thought I'd worked everything out. Hadn't accounted for a little thief here. Well played, Jess. Well played. But then, I was sure I had buried my ticket off this island at the bottom of the sea. But, lo and behold, you slippery sons of bitches survived. Wait. Did you swim out of there?
I love the fact that there's a gate,
What will your
like, right
bosses
there.
think when they learn that you tried to murder us?
But they won't learn about that. Because one way or another, you're not gonna tell them. I just don't know how we got to this point, Nima. You were the last one of my kind I thought I could trust. Things didn't start out that way, but we had worked out a mutually beneficial deal! But now, I don't even have that. All that's left for me is that damn canister. Now hand it over, Missy.
Ventriloquist right there.
Ah! Nice one. Almost hurt.
Let's do this.
You looking for this?
You know, things don't have to be this way. We'll kiss and make up, and share this payout, just like we planned.
There is no more plan. We're leaving without you.
Oh, you're pretty good. Come on, Nima. You're a merc just like me. You got bills to pay? Are these two really worth all this?
Yoda is now standing in the dawning light.
It's not about the money anymore. I'm not gonna let you hurt these people. No more talk. Shut up and fight.
Dang it.
All right.
Yes.
Playtime's over.
I guarantee, like, there's one button press that I won't be able to do in this fight. But usually that is where I mess up the most. Like, I'm surprised that I didn't let Nima get hit there. Dang it! See what I mean? Oh. Fence. Jerry, help her. I used to think that this one right here was like impossible to actually win because of like the button presses are like too rapid and everything else is too slow. Come on, Nima, get on your feet. We can make it. Yes, I actually made it. Oh, damn.
Oh, there we go. Is that the little thing we're fighting over?
It's moving too fast.
Oh, huh? What? What's that? I can have it? Why so generous all of a sudden?
Fight to the death. And I got a bronze. Dang it.
You want to be the hero?
There's something that I'm forgetting. Something about a contract.
Break our deal.
You guys remember anything about that?
You feel that?
Oh my god. Stop!
You want to make new friends?
Oh, yeah.
And Nima, I don't like it.
While I would have preferred the Troodons, it's probably better that it happened this way. Rexy is the final boss. Don't move. I kind of like this scene because it also kind of reminds me of Dodson's death from the Lost World novel. Death by Tyrannosaur. Rex is just seeing it roll away. You probably would have been safer if you jumped, Yoder. She's got the can. Here we go.
Now, go! Run!
Let's see if I can do this.
Here! Skywalker! Keep going! Hey! Hey, over here! Come on!
Hey, hey! Hey, hey!
Get to the boat!
Jess. There's actually an option here where you can choose to save the canister instead of Jess, but that results in Nima getting killed. And it actually results in like an alternate ending. So that's the final fate of the canister, huh? There's a meme in there somewhere. Run, Jerry! This part is so intense, it's practically like a thrill ride. I love it. Alright, come on. Shipping canisters. Oh no. Crap! There's nowhere to go. Alright, Come on, Jerry, think. There's gotta be a way out of this. This is the quarantine pen. Oh no, she's gonna crush him! That's the way up. Come on, use your muscles, Harding. Climb! Run! Whoa! Jump! Come on, pull yourself up! You can do it! Come on, man! Keep going! Jump! Pull yourself up, Jerry! Jump! Don't roll! Come on! Almost there, come on, boy! Whoa! Hang on! Jump, Jerry, jump! Oh no. I can just imagine how hard this would be! There's nothing for him to grab onto. Holy shit! Oh no. Come on, mouse. Yes! Come on, Jerry, get up! You gotta get up! Here she comes. Run, Jerry! Notice how Nima isn't in these scenes? It's basically like, in case you chose the other way. Start the boat! Keep running, man! Come on, we can do it! Come on, we can make it! Come on, keep running, keep going! Come on, Jerry! Run! Keep going! Come on, you gotta jump, jump, jump! Gold rank! That was intense.
We made it. Believe me.
After all that
The
work.
world is better off without that can.
Guys?
Not me, Jerry. Not my daughter.
Guys?
Nima, I made a promise. I'll figure something out. Come back to Dallas with us. We'll find a way to get you and your Mariquita.
Guys! How much did you say those embryos were worth?
Oh, the other half. Well, that is quite a high note to end on. Well, anyways, that was Jurassic Park, the game by Telltale. What'd you guys think? Did you like it? It's an incredibly fun game. It's flawed, but I feel like the flaws that it has are either easily forgivable, but also add to the fun in some kind of strange way. And everything like about it is that, like, I don't know, maybe I was a little too hard on this episode, but it definitely does feel a little bit rushed. Doesn't anybody else feel that? And I know that maybe some people have differing opinions than I do when it comes to Yoder, but dang it, I liked what his character was before he went crazy. And that's ultimately the problem that I have with it, is that I don't necessarily believe that he'd actually go that insane. That it just seems like kind of forced, don't you think? And I find that whole thing ironic, that like they were basically like going to such great lengths to keep the canister safe in order to hand it off to the contact waiting for them on the boat. Nobody ever considered the fact that the contact may in fact be dead by the time we get there. And that the money might just literally be lying around. Anyways, it's all a really fun game, flawed as hell, but I like it. And for a while, I really thought that it was a genuinely true sequel to Jurassic Park. It was a story that I could really get behind, and I really actually did enjoy it. I did see it as the true sequel to Jurassic Park for quite some time. And now, the reason that I'm saying that, like, I did this, did that, and so long, or whatever, but the point that I'm trying to make here is that, like, a lot of people think that this game has been written out of continuity ever since Jurassic World popped up, and I actually thought so too. But the thing about it is, there actually, like, there are a few telling points that actually show that, yeah, it actually still might be in canon. Especially considering how in canon it is with with the other movies, definitely. Like, it has so many references to the Lost World as well as, like, the original Jurassic Park, as well as some references to the novel, but, oh no, the music is starting up. I gotta keep talking to make sure that I don't get this flagged. The point that I'm trying to make here is that they ultimately say that the game is going to end with the U.S. military bombing Isla Nublar, destroying Jurassic Park and the entire island. But the thing about it is, the thing that you gotta keep in mind, is that we don't actually ever see that happen. Yeah, it never actually happens in-game. So, what does that mean? Basically, because it's not shown, I am less inclined to believe that it actually did happen. And what I mean by that is that we know, like, from his experiences in Jurassic Park, that John Hammond becomes a naturalist, a born-again naturalist in a lot of ways. So I actually think that he'd find a way to have the bombing delayed, or at least waylaid, in order to prevent the island from being destroyed, and to prevent the animals from being destroyed as well. So I really do think that the island was left intact, and this might come into some contradictory evidence from, like, the Lost World movie, because, like, there's a deleted scene where Ludlow says that they disposed of, like, the biological specimens on Isla Nublar, and they disposed of the facilities on Isla Nublar, but we have evidence from Jurassic World that that's not exactly what happened. The simple fact is, like, there couldn't have possibly been any cleanup that would have left the island itself still intact. Like, ultimately, like, a bombing would have completely destroyed all the foliage, all the animals, all the entire environment of the island itself, to the point where it virtually wouldn't be recoverable and may have in fact been completely sank into the Pacific Ocean. But Jurassic World implies, even though there was a cleanup procedure, like after the events of the Lost World when Masrani Global bought InGen, that ultimately they did do some kind of cleanup, but I don't think that it's possible that the cleanup actually was thorough enough to actually, like, have searched the entire island. I don't think that the island was ever bombed. I think that all they did was, like, send in InGen's new security team, headed by Masrani Global, led by Vic Hoskins, to eventually recapture the dinosaurs that were running free on the island. Because we know that Rexy is still alive. That's the same Rex that appears in Jurassic World. The same one from the original movie, the same one from this game, and finally, it's the same one from Jurassic World, and it's going to be the same one from Fallen Kingdom. So, basically, we have evidence to suggest that, like, everything that is said is going to happen in this game might not exactly go through. That's the thing that you gotta keep in mind with fiction. Just because things are said to have happened or are going to happen doesn't necessarily mean that they do end up happening. What's more important than being told that something is going to happen is being shown that it is happening. So, basically, I feel like this game could completely remain in canon with the movies, because we don't actually ever see the island being destroyed. But that is the last that we hear of Dr. Harding and Jess and Nima for now. But the Dinosaur Protection Group, their website, in order to promote the new Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom movie, they have, like, released new canon information that actually name drops Dr. Harding, like, several times, so it definitely is clear-cut that he survived the events of Jurassic Park. He made it off the island, and there's some evidence to suggest that certain events from this game may in fact still be in canon. And I gotta say that this game is one of the reasons why I think that there might be a breeding population of raptors living completely in secrecy on Isla Nublar, because not only was there a generation of raptors born on the island outside in the wilds of Isla Nublar, but also the fact that where this game leaves us, it leaves us with 3 raptors. So that's literally all it took to basically, like, tip the scale in Jurassic Park with the raptor population to begin with. All you need is 2, and literally that's basically where you get the problems from. So I really think that those raptors would go off and, like, survive later on, and they would breed. They would contribute to a new population of raptors, eventually meeting up with the other infant raptors, and eventually tribes and packs would form, and boom. You got several breeding populations of raptors loose on the islands. And another thing that I forgot to mention in a previous episode as to why I thought that the raptors ran away, instead of being afraid of Oscar, they actually had smelled that the Troodons were nearby, because they encroached upon the Troodon nest at the end of the episode. They sniffed the air, but then they turned around and ran away because something about the place scared them. So, ultimately, I think that that's more or less what they were actually afraid of, the Troodons. They know how dangerous those creatures are. And very intelligent for an animal, but anyways, I really hope that you guys have enjoyed this game. It's definitely one of my favorites, and something that I definitely tend to pick up and play every now and then, especially I like getting the golden achievements on everything. Really hope to go back and get all the gold medals again, just because, I can. So I definitely know that I've done it before, and I gotta say that, I actually did pretty well with that fight with Yoder, even though it's, one of the hardest parts of the game and gives me the most trouble. I think the worst part about it is that, it's hard to practice at timing the events just right, because if you make one mistake, you have to basically exit the game and, go to the scenarios section and start the entire thing over again, the entire chapter, the entire little scenario section of the episode. And in order to do that, you have to sit through all the dialogue that comes before it. You have to get the dialogue with them coming out of the cave, and then spotting the boat, with Billy knocking out Jerry, and then with him gloating about how he basically isn't going to let them tell InGen about what he tried to do, and him demanding that Jess hand the canister over. All that. You got to sit through all that, and it gets so incredibly tedious and so incredibly boring. Anyways, I wonder if anybody else agrees with me on, Billy, because I don't think that he was all that bad a guy, but he just ends up becoming a complete psycho at the end, doesn't he? Doesn't that bother anybody else? Am I the only one? Seriously, it's just so... It's wrong, I think. That it's just wrong, because he lost, so much on this trip. He lost his two best friends, and basically, I honestly don't think that he'd result to murder over that. Yeah, he seemed kind of scary and angry when he's confronting Dr. Sorkin, but quite frankly, I hate Dr. Sorkin. I really think that it was about time she friggin' told the truth for once, because I am not convinced that Daniel, her assistant... No, wait, David. Yes, sorry. I'm not convinced that David, her assistant, died accidentally. For the one thing, his death is on her because she kept the Troodons alive in the quarantine pens, and he, quote, got too close to them. How exactly do we know that she didn't push him into the quarantine pens? Because seriously, who is actually stupid enough to get close to the pens where you are isolating dangerous and venomous animals? But then again, this entire franchise is all about people making stupid decisions. But here's a question, for all of you. Do you guys ultimately agree with Sorkin's belief systems here? Do you think that she was actually in the right for trying to preserve the animals, even at the cost of human life? I definitely don't think so. I mean, I would want those animals preserved myself, but I wouldn't go about it like this. I wouldn't want people put in danger, and I definitely, wouldn't sacrifice the park in order to do it. I mean, I hate to basically take this position, but I'm ultimately one of the people who just loves the idea of Jurassic Park so much that I want it to be possible, even though everything about the franchise, from the movies to the novels to actual real-world science, tells me that it isn't. But I think that if we're just willing to make the adjustments, it could be. Sorkin was right about one thing, that ultimately this endeavor couldn't happen as quickly as Hammond wanted it to, and that's ultimately the initial point of the movie. The fact that everything that happened in Jurassic Park was way too premature, because they were it was a it was a business venture. They had investors who spent a whole lot of money to get this happen, and they had to return that investment within 5 years. It just wasn't negotiable at that point. So I can't help but feel like they didn't have time to wait, even though they probably should have. And it just really kind of upsets me when I think about it. The idea behind it is that you couldn't really make a dinosaur theme park with animals that you don't know anything about, because their behavior would inherently be unpredictable, because anything you'd have to compare it to just wouldn't fit properly. The only thing that we really have to compare it to are reptiles, birds, and mammals, and even that, and everything about that is just far off. The bird is probably the closest category we could put the dinosaurs into, but I just think that maybe after a few years of observing the animals in a wild environment, completely forgetting the cost of what it is to make them and how expensive they are, just observing how they behave in the wild, you could actually get a better sense of how to properly keep them in enclosures. And that's ultimately one of the things that bothers me about Jurassic World, because that's the only reason why Jurassic World was as successful as it was, because the sacrifices made at Jurassic Park were effectively the trial and error so that Jurassic World would know what to correct for next time. So, anyways, I think that I've ranted on enough about Jurassic Park and Jurassic World and Laura Sorkin, because despite everything, I still hate her character. She is just the absolute worst, and I feel like her character doesn't get enough hate from the community. Instead, more and more people tend to hate on Billy, despite the fact that his character is being completely misrepresented and horrendously shortchanged. So, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a comment down in the comment section below, and be sure to like it and share it with your friends. If you want to keep up to date on more Let's Play videos coming your way in the future, then just smash that subscribe button like an angry T-Rex, and ring that little bell to become part of the notification squad. And as always, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later!